you
Okay, firstly, Minister, can I wish you the best of luck in your new portfolio, and I know your own experience down with Limerick Regeneration will only add to the work that you will be able to do during your time with the department that you're with. Minister, can I just say really quickly, the Ballymun project of the 1960s fell about 10% short of total completion for various reasons, and that has led to many of the problems that Ballymun experienced over the years, along with other external forces that were beyond the lack of completion of the programme. But obviously, people who know Ballymun from the past, it became synonymous with things like the horse and Into the West and so on, and it in many ways that has stuck with it. But back in 1997, Minister, I may remind you, it was actually a Labour government and a Labour minister at the time who wrote the cheque to start the largest regeneration urban project in Europe, Ballymun Regeneration, BRL, in 97. It has delivered, and it's almost completing its delivery. 15 years on, 1,600 new homes have been built, 1,400 private units have been built, and Minister, your department gave another 4.6 million just before Christmas to continue that, and I really do appreciate that. However, Minister, as we come towards the end, we're back to the same story as back in the 1960s. We're back to the last 10% of the project being completed. This time, Minister, I'm asking that as much as possible that this be taken into account and we learn from our mistakes from the last time. The last 10% is important. It's not just the icing on the cake, it's the last piece of the jigsaw which makes it complete. And without that, the regeneration programme won't be complete. That is one particular housing set of units called Salog 9, 48 units. The infrastructure, Minister, some of that infrastructure I'm talking about will allow some of the sites that won't be developed to be shovel ready for when the economy does turn up. And finally, Minister, the social regeneration, so that the young children who have spent their lives growing up on what is a building site actually have the facilities that will allow them to continue to live in a thriving and viable, successful community. And Minister, I do ask that you and your department take that into account. And I know that the people of Ballymun, I speak on behalf of them here today, that without that it'll be a very disappointing regeneration programme.
Thank you, Deputy Minister.
I want to thank Deputy Lyons, first of all, for raising this issue, and as you said, both you and I have a very strong interest in regeneration, Deputy. And I want to begin by reiterating my own commitment and that of my department and the government to seeing the regeneration of Ballymun successfully completed. Ballymun Regeneration, as you know, is by far the largest regeneration project ever undertaken in this country, with a capital investment of over €700 million over the past 15 years. Over that period, the project has delivered over 1,600 social housing units, 105 voluntary housing units and 1,200 private and affordable units. And a further 215 units are under construction at present, and another 25 were recently approved to go to tender. 6 of the 7 landmark towers have been demolished, and almost all of the original 2,800 flats are either already demolished or under contract to be demolished. And in addition, the project has seen the delivery of a range of new infrastructure, from roads and other services to new parks, neighbourhood centres and state-of-the-art community facilities. It's important to note that this substantial investment has not been limited to physical infrastructure. In line with the principles of regeneration, Ballymun Regeneration Limited has also sought to address the causes of disadvantage, and I know that Deputy Lyons has referred to this, through a programme of social interventions, including the very successful Access Theatre, and bringing much needed job opportunities to the areas such as IKEA, and through the Rediscovery Centre. The Ballymun Regeneration Programme has now moved into its completion phase. My department is working closely with both BRL and the City Council to ensure that it's completed properly, on time and in a manner that protects the existing investment. And I note again your point, Deputy Lyons, in that regard. These projects are very complex and require a broad vision beyond just the replacement of houses. For that reason, our actions to complete the project in Ballymun are as important as those to commence it. That said, after 15 years, the community profile has changed, and it is clear that the original number of social housing units proposed under the original master plan may no longer be needed. As such, it's my intention to ensure that the projects planned and underway will meet the remaining housing needs of the community, some 250 units, as quickly as possible. And I'm particularly concerned to ensure that those 26 households living in the worst accommodation are rehoused as a matter of urgency. And in addition, I'd like to restate my commitment to the social and economic regeneration of the area, which will have to continue after the physical works are completed. And in this regard, I'll be looking to my government colleagues to ensure a whole-of-government approach is taken and sustained. And I note the particular area, Deputy Lyons, that you have raised here today.
Thanks. Deputy, would you like to ask a supplementary?
want to warmly welcome those kind words that you've said there today, particularly your commitment to the social and economic regeneration of the area post Ballymun regeneration. And Minister, maybe at this point, maybe I might, I'll come back to you again in a more formal matter. Maybe you might come out to walk the area of Ballymun and see the work and the investment that this government has put in, and I suppose the Labour government that first signed the cheques to start the knocking down of the flats put in back in '97. So I'll come back to you on that, Minister, and thanks very much.
Minister.
Short. First of all, I would very much like to take you up on the invitation to see the work that's being done in Ballymun. And, I do realise that it is very important that we complete the project appropriately, and that the lives of people in the community are greatly improved by the work that's been done over the years. And despite the fact that there have been many challenges with regard to funding in this particular department, and indeed right across government, I want to assure you that we have protected the funding and that we will ensure that we complete the project.